Hey guys, it's Jane. I'm here today to give you a taste of Neil Gaiman's American Gods. This is an older book now. It won the Hugo in its year. It's a bit of a personal favourite and a bit of a cult classic. So to start with, I'm just going to read you from the blurb on the back of the book. Is nothing sacred? Days before his release from prison, Shadow's wife Laura dies in a mysterious car crash. Numbly, he makes his way back home. On the plane, he encounters the enigmatic Mr. Wednesday, who claims to be a refugee from a distant war, a former god, and the King of America. Together they embark on a profoundly strange journey across the heart of the USA, whilst all around them a storm of preternatural and epic proportions threatens to break. Scary, gripping, and deeply unsettling, American Gods takes a long, hard look into the soul of America. You'll be surprised by what and who it finds there. Okay, this part that I'm going to read you comes from fairly far into the book, but I don't think there's actually any. It's no more spoilery than what's on the back. This is a conversation between Shadow, the central character, and my favourite minor character in the book, Sam Black Crow. Then she said, very quiet, very fast, "If you're going to kill me, please don't hurt me. I shouldn't have come here with you. I'm so effing dumb. I can't identify you. Jesus." Shadow sighed. "I've never killed anybody, really. Now, I'm going to take you to the Buck," he said. "We'll have a drink. Or, if you give the word, I'll turn this car around and take you home. Either way, I'll just have to hope you aren't going to call the cops." There was silence as they crossed the bridge. "Who did kill those men?" she asked. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." "I would." She sounded angry now. He wondered if bringing the wine to the dinner had been a wise idea. Life was certainly not a Cabernet right now. "It's not easy to believe." "I," she told him, "can believe anything. You have no idea what I can believe." "Really?" "I can believe things that are true, and I can believe things that aren't true, and I can believe things when nobody knows if they're true or not. I can believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Marilyn Monroe and the Beatles and Elvis and Mr. Ed. Listen, I believe that people are perfectible, that knowledge is infinite, that the world is run by secret banking cartels and is visited by aliens on a regular basis. Nice ones that look like wrinkledy lemurs and bad ones who mutilate cattle and want our water and our women. I believe that the future sucks, and I believe that the future rocks, and I believe that one day White Buffalo Woman is going to come back and kick everybody's ass. I believe that all men are just overgrown boys with deep problems communicating, and that the decline in good sex in America is coincident with the decline in drive-in movie theatres from state to state. I believe that all politicians are unprincipled crooks, and I still believe that they're better than the alternative. I believe that California is going to sink into the sea when the big one comes, while Florida is going to dissolve into madness and alligators and toxic waste. I believe that antibacterial soap is destroying our resistance to dirt and disease, so that one day we'll all be wiped out by the common cold like the Martians in War of the Worlds. And I believe that the greatest poets in the last century were Edith Sitwell and Don Marcus, that jade is dried dragon sperm, and that thousands of years ago in a former life I was a one-armed Siberian shaman. I believe that mankind's destiny lies in the stars. I believe that candy really did taste better when I was a kid, that it's aerodynamically impossible for a bumblebee to fly, that light is a wave and a particle, that there's a cat in the box somewhere who's alive and dead at the same time, although if they don't ever open the box to feed it, it'll eventually just be two different kinds of dead, and that there are stars in the universe billions of years older than the universe itself. I believe in a personal God who cares about me and worries and oversees everything I do, and I believe in an impersonal God who set the universe in motion and went off to hang with her girlfriends and doesn't want to know that I'm alive, and I believe in an empty and godless universe of casual chaos background noise and sheer blind luck, and I believe that anyone who says that sex is overrated just hasn't done it properly. I believe that anyone who claims to know what's going on will lie about the little things too. I believe in absolute honesty and sensible social lies. I believe in a woman's right to choose, a baby's right to live, and that while all human life is sacred, there's nothing wrong with the death penalty if you can trust the legal system implicitly, and that no one but a moron would ever trust the legal system. I believe that life is a game, life is a cruel joke, and that life is what happens when you're alive, and that you might as well lie back and enjoy it. She stopped, out of breath. Shadow almost took his hands off the wheel to applaud, and instead he said, "Okay, so if I tell you what I've learnt, you won't think I'm a nut?" "Maybe," she said. "Try me." "Would you believe that all the gods that people have ever imagined are still with us today?" "Maybe." "And that there are new gods out there, gods of computers and telephones and whatever, and that they all seem to think that there isn't room for them both in this world and that there's some kind of war is likely?" "And these gods killed those two men?" "No, my wife killed those two men." "I thought you said your wife was dead." "She is." "She killed them before she died then?" "After. Don't ask." She reached up a hand and flicked her hair from her forehead. They pulled up on Main Street outside the Buck Stops Here. The sign over the window showed a surprised-looking stag standing on its hind legs holding a glass of beer. Shadow grabbed the bag with the book in it and got out. "Why would they have a war?" asked Sam. "It seems kind of redundant. What's there to win?" "I don't know," admitted Shadow. "It's easier to believe in aliens than in gods," said Sam. "Maybe Mr. Town and Mr. Whatever were men in black, only the alien kind." They were standing on the sidewalk outside the Buck Stops Here, and Sam stopped. She looked up at Shadow, and her breath hung on the night air like a faint cloud. She said, "Just tell me that you're one of the good guys." "I can't," said Shadow. "I wish I could. But I am doing my best." She looked up at him and bit her lower lip, and then she nodded. "Good enough," she said. "I won't turn you in. You can buy me a beer." And that was Neil Gaiman's American Gods. Hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.